Today, just so everybody knows, we're talking about cooling systems. So, keeping your car warm in the winter, cool in the summer.
That's right. Give it to him, Jeff.
We've got it.
Give it to him.
So, let's get started, mon frere. All right. Big shout out to my boy Justin. Known you since forever. So.
All right, we're rolling.
Mr. Daniel Bautista.
What's up, Daniel? How's it going?
He says he's having trouble hearing, so I am going to project my voice a little bit better.
What's up? Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben. We're here with our master technician,
Jeff Lockett, Express Lube and Auto Repair. How you doing?
All right, so we're here and I don't even know what we're doing. We're talking about what, this liquid that goes inside the the cooler thingy. What is that, the radiator?
Well, we got all sorts of different ways. So when your coolant runs low, some vehicles are going to tell you that it's low. Some vehicles will not. Some vehicles will simply just start overheating. Now, the end user has the place where they generally add coolant, and it's generally in the coolant reservoir. Most vehicles have just a storage tank, really nothing more than a storage tank, and it has a little black hose coming off of it, and the hose generally goes to the radiator. And so I always wondered for a while exactly how that system works. Even, do you know why you can fill the reservoir, and if your system gets low it goes into the radiator even in a sealed cap?
I haven't a damn clue.
Fantastic.
Tell us.
When you have a water bottle sitting in a car and it gets hot, you go back in there and that water bottle has more pressure than it did before, because as water warms it expands. Hi, how we doing tonight?
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Could we get, I asked for hot green tea. Yeah, I did.
Wait, does green tea have
just hot green tea.
Does it have caffeine in it or no?
All tea has caffeine. It's about half a coffee.
I'll hold off. Fair enough.
I'll do hot green tea. Yeah, that's what I asked for. Yeah, she did. Yep.
Be right back.
Yep, thanks.
All right. So
Good to
we were
go.
talking about cold bottles, hot bottles. So you put a bottle in a hot car or in anything hot, it pressurizes because the liquid inside expands as it heats up. So if you've ever felt your radiator hose on your car, everything working correctly, that radiator hose should be fairly firm. If you push it down, it kind of springs back. If it does not spring back or feel like it's pressurized, you have a problem in your cooling system, either a leak or a bad cap. But in a properly operating cooling system, after it cools back down, the pressure relieves, and in some cases will go into a mild vacuum. It's not going to be a true vacuum, but it's going to be enough to suck the antifreeze back in to the radiator from the bottom. Okay?
Correct.
That's how that works. Other cars, a lot of the newer cars have pressure tanks, also known as either a surge tank or a coolant tank, all sorts of names. That one actually has a pressurized cap on top. If you open up your hood and you have a little clear bottle, it's either going to have blue, it's going to have green, it's going to have yellow, it's going to have pink. They got all sorts of flavors and colors now that they fill cars with, but it'll have a cap. Now, word to the wise, always check your cooling system. Hi, Adam. Sorry, I had to throw that out there. Always check your cooling system while the vehicle is cold and been parked for a while, because the last thing I want you to do is go and say, hey, my car's running kind of hot, let me check the coolant level. And you pull off that radiator cap. How was that for impersonation, Eben? That was pretty good. Hey, you know what?
Out of me.
I'm going to check the coolant. Pretty good. A little bit. Do I get a little credit?
Yeah.
All right, I get a C+.
It's good.
I'll take a C+. All right, so anyways, you pop that cap off and you will see coolant go everywhere. And if it's not coolant, if the system's empty, you will have a geyser of steam and water vapor, and it will burn the ever-living crap out of you. I've got a friend who got a really, really bad burn because he took off a radiator cap. He's got scarring on his chest and scarring on his arm from it. And there's a more graphic story. He got in the shower. As he was rinsing off, the skin was just going off with the water. Really disgusting. Don't do that. So wait till the system cools down. Proper way to check the level anyway. A lot of them have a, it says fill cold. Oh, Steven, we're at Veggie Eat Express.
Yes.
Wasn't he here last time?
I don't think he's ever been. Stephen Carter?
Yeah.
Would love to have Stephen.
Oh, Steven, we're right in your neck of the woods, bud.
Yeah, come on over.
Stephanie
Come on
Warren
over,
Springs.
Stephen. We're here. Stephen is a expert transmission repairman.
Yeah?
Does it in his sleep. He can feel all the little parts, the gears, and he knows exactly where everything goes. And he really entertains me. He shows me all these hilarious memes of all these exploded transmissions.
Ooh, yes.
With fluid all over the place. And it's hilarious. You got to check out his Facebook page, Stephen Carter, and I'll share some more of his content on my synthetic oil protection Facebook page. And it is hilarious, all these wrecked transmissions.
And he likes going out there, cutting it up on the dunes. He's got some quads. I followed Steven a little bit. He looks like he has some fun.
And he's got a lot of heart. He's one of those guys. His engine pops right there on the street. He'll sit there and fix it 15, 25 hours later. He'll start that engine up. And just amazing the heart he's got to build these VW buses. He does the Beetles. He's got a supercharged turbo Beetle.
Hey.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Want a picture?
That's fine for now. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I will get it working for you if you want it.
That's fine for now.
I feel so confused what's going
No
on here.
worries.
It's okay. It's okay. We didn't see it today. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys too. Do you want to get some food started? Or you
Yes.
just wanna wait?
Yes. Yes.
I'll do some tapas, maybe an appetizer. Let me do the buffalo wings.
Okay. 3 or 5?
5. We're gonna start with that.
Just
Then
that for now?
Just that for
And
now.
I'll do the veggie salad with ginger dressing. The ginger one.
You got this down.
Yep.
You got it down.
Yep.
I'll get it started.
Yep. Thanks. All right.
Okay, so we're back on cooling
So-
systems. Okay, so check it cold. Pressure tank. If you have a pressure tank on the side of the tank, there should be a full hot, full cold line, so you know where you're supposed to be. Sometimes the insides of those bottles will get kind of scuzzy. If it gets scuzzy and you can't see in there, you might have to take a flashlight and shine it so you can see some light through the bottle, catch a reflection, something. And if you have a really bad bottle, it looks pretty disgusting. Those bottles aren't that expensive. You can go to AutoZone or any of your major parts stores, even sometimes the dealer, 30, 50 bucks.
Yep.
It's one of those things, not horrible to change when it gets disgusting, because that gives you an opportunity to change that. Then we get to flush your cooling system at the same time. So yeah, that's how to check your coolant level. Do you want to go over types of coolant from here?
Of course, we'll do that. I wanted to give a shout out to Hector. Thanks, Hector, for checking out the channel. We also got Mike C here. We're just getting everything going. You got Jimmy. What's up, fellas? Has 3 vehicles. Takes the Toyota Long Live coolant fluid. Does AMSOIL make a fluid that I can put in to make the engine run cooler? And of course, you can put in this right here. This is the biodegradable low toxicity coolant. It's pet friendly, which is always a good thing. The other great thing about it is that it also is compatible with a lot of other makes and models like Caterpillar, also John Deere, all your 18-wheelers, all your Chrysler. You can also mix it, but it's best to try to change out as much as you can.
Yeah, you really do.
And then you run it usually 50-50. If you live
Is
out
that
here, yes.
Is that straight up? Is
Yes.
it premix? What's the flavor here?
This is great. So Jeff's just getting his toes wet with the products as well.
Ooh.
This is a proprietary coolant, and it's a little bit different, but it's a concentrate, and you actually mix it 50-50 with distilled water.
It says must add water.
Yes.
Now,
Yep.
I want to go into you mentioned.
Yep.
You get finished talking about your mixtures, your strengths, and your protections. I don't want to interrupt that.
So at 50-50, you're going to be good down to negative 29 degrees Fahrenheit, below zero. So you're good for most of the northern states. If you live, God, I guess in Canada, I guess it can go below 30 below. I guess it's possible.
Definitely
It does.
possible.
It
I was
does.
I was in upstate New York, coldest day I woke up. Wow, this was bad. 47 degrees below zero.
Oh,
Now,
Jesus.
had
Christ.
it been 65 below zero, supposedly that's the temperature that if you spit, it'll freeze before it hits the ground. Now, I always want just for the hell of it.
That's scary.
But
Jeff.
if you expose your lips at 65 degrees below zero for a minute or two, just to the air, you will get frostbite very fast. So it's
I think
miserable.
your eyes even freeze too.
Oh, it's horrible. It hurts. It's painful.
So, to answer your question, yep, you can use this. You'll mix it with distilled water. This distilled water has no minerals in it. It's
Yep.
been evaporated, so all the minerals stay at the bottom. The evaporated water has none of that extra junk in it. And the other nice thing about distilled water, it doesn't boil as quick. You'll notice if you heat up water really hot and put like contaminants in it, contaminated mineralized water boils quicker. So it's always good to use your distilled water, and you don't get the corrosion in your heater core, your radiator.
And that's the next
And
topic.
Then coming on to the Dominator Coolant Boost,
Yeah.
this right here is a proprietary additive. It's a dual-tiered surfactant technology, and what it does is the first thing that's so great about it is it helps your car warm up 54% quicker. So
That's
say
awesome.
you live in Chi-Ta or Chicago or
Anywhere cold.
Muchagamucabaca, wherever the hell it is cold, you snap that thing on, boom, 54% quicker. So say usually it warms up in like, say 13 to 20 minutes when it's cold. In just 9 minutes, in the middle
That's-
of Bumble, you know what,
that's
where it's
awesome.
cold, your car is gonna be total warm.
Do you ever do any driving in cold climates?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you know the first thing in the morning, I mean that to me is a selling point because first thing in the morning when I was up in New York, you run outside.
Actually, we don't sell anything here on
Okay,
the channel,
all
Jeff.
right.
Let me tell them what we do.
All right, let's do this.
What we do
We inform.
is we get things bought for all the right reasons.
Fair enough.
And it has to be exactly the reason that you need.
Okay.
So if this product satisfies your needs and you're looking for the results, what do? You put it in.
So what I'll rephrase.
Yes.
So for the best amount of satisfaction in the cold weather climate, I would go out and I would pre-start my vehicle. I'd go back in and honestly, I'd probably have it running out there for about 15 or 20 minutes. My little truck, oh boy, my old little truck was a beast. I didn't know a lot, so I kind of switched thermostats and all sorts of crazy stuff. But in the wintertime up in New York, in order to get any heat inside,
Yep.
I had to take a cardboard box and completely cover my radiator so I got no airflow to get temperature. It was that cold up there.
And I've heard that a lot, and it's very interesting. So what this does, you say, well, Eben, it just sounds like a bunch of horse pucky.
Hey, Eben, it sounds like a bunch of horse pucky.
All right.
All right.
Well, it sounds like it, but it's not.
Oh, let me get the
So-
whangs.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah, I'll get this out of the way. Oh, goodness. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So back to the whole element here. This dual-tiered surfactant technology, what it does, beautiful show, Jeff. I love it. I
Yes.
love it. We'll tap two things at once. So the great thing is, too, it saves you gas because when you put this in, when your car gets off idle up, you're not blowing as much rich gasoline into your engine,
Yes.
which is another nice element, especially
is-
on big vehicles.
That is fantastic. I like
SUVs,
that.
diesel trucks. The other thing it does is it helps your engine run up to 25 degrees cooler. So basically, I'll show you that little thing right here, right there, up to 25 degrees cooler. And that really helps in the summer. And you just mix 1 ounce per quart of radiator coolant. And if you're running distilled water, you run 2 ounces of this per quart of distilled water. And you just do your mix. And basically, this is a special formula. It actually breaks down. And after about 30,000 miles 1 year, you actually have to add a little bit more of it because it's a really special chemical, and that chemical evaporates, it breaks down, and it just doesn't last forever. So if you want to keep your system running the coolest, the best optimization, you want to go right on ahead and add this and keep a bottle on handy at all times. It's a great little utility piece. And the other thing I was going to tap into was like flushing. A lot of people say, is it good to flush or not? Basically, the best thing you can do is just you put a bunch of distilled water in, drain it out, fill it, drain it out, fill it, right, Jeff?
So
but I guess if it's an old car, you can put, there's chemicals that etch it out, though. I don't know how you feel about that, Jeff.
So I do have a question up here.
Of course.
Real quick, and yes, Suzanne. Suzanne is our expert parts person. She is the commercial manager at a large parts chain on Boulder Highway in Henderson.
Beautiful.
She's awesome.
Thanks.
She works at Pep Boys. She's really good.
Wow.
So she asked about, is this a water wetter? Yes, it is. That's the term. That's the term that I used to use for that, a water wetter. Coolant enhancer, booster, all the same thing. They actually have a lot of different products. Now for me, when you get to a technician level flush, I can do it a couple of different ways. If you have a system,
cheers. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
And Suzanne has another good question. I'm going to cover that.
I'm getting a lot of great questions too.
Awesome.
We'll get the questions in about, say, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
But keep running, Jeff. We got to keep feeding them.
So, if I get a system that's really bad and really fudgy, first things first, you need to very, very carefully. You okay? All right. You playing with your dongle?
I am.
All right.
I'm playing with my dongle. I like that, Jeff.
It's
Jeff's good
stuff.
on the fly.
So we pour this chemical in. Now, before I do a really, really good flush, I make sure that I don't see any signs of seepage whatsoever. So the seepage would be, you good?
Oh, just making sure the volume's all the way up.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, we had the volume down.
Uh-oh, there we
We're being
go.
a bunch of dummies. Now we're good.
Okay, so you ready? Ready for me?
Good. Yeah.
All right. So basically, what happens is if the vehicle has any type of leaks because there's too much rust and corrosion, that has to be addressed first, and then you will still have to flush the system. Now, if you get a lot of corrosion, the first thing that happens generally, it'll start eating up your heater core. It'll start eating inside the intake manifold. It'll start eating its way out. It'll start eating up the radiator, causing leaks.
Yep.
If you have leaks, flushing your cooling system is the process after you repair.
Yes.
There it is.
Wow, look at that. Ginger dressing.
All right, so back on topic.
Yes.
Back on topic.
Yes. Thanks, Jeff.
All right.
Reeling me in.
Reeling you back in.
Thanks.
So what you do is you repair it, you flush. That's the 5th time I said that. Eben, you better sit the hell down.
Sorry.
Okay. Now the flush that I use, I like to use a chemical flush. A couple of different manufacturers make it, whatever. You completely drain the cooling system. Once you've drained the cooling system, you fill it up with water, distilled. You're going to put the flush chemical in. You're going to remove the engine thermostat. You're going to put it back in. Now, if you have one of those vehicles that the thermostat is part of how it seals, tech tip number 73, get a pair of cutters and cut the center out. Therefore, you have a little hole. It can still hold the gasket, and you've got nothing in there. So you're going to run it for 10-15 minutes, however you feel like doing it, to get that stuff out. Now, here's where the hard stuff comes in. This is where the technician stuff comes in. I pull a hose off. The hose is generally the inlet to the water pump, and I get a garden hose. You can try this at home if you really want to. I put the garden hose in the inlet of the water pump. I start the vehicle. I turn the garden hose on high, and I run water through that thing. Now, I've already drained the coolant out. I put the flush chemical in. I put the distilled water in. Now I'm running water through, and I will continue to let the engine pump the water out. If you remember and go back to our transmission flush video that we did on the, what was it, the C10, C20? The big brown pickup truck. You remember that one? What was it, C10 or C20?
Yeah, it was a Silverado.
Old Silverado.
With a 1980s, it was a 70s chassis with an 80s V8, or 90s, early 90s V8.
Okay, cool. So, that's what we did. That was a transmission flush, and the transmission has a pump in the front. We do the same thing. We use the transmission to pump the old fluid out. We use the water pump to pump the old nasty out, because it's not coolant at that point. We're just flushing fudge out. Once your water starts coming clear out of the bottom, you're going to turn the vehicle off. You're going to completely drain the system. And then you are going to reinstall the thermostat. You are going to fill the system with your antifreeze at whatever strength you want. If you go 40-60, 50-50, 70-30, your choice, soup du jour, whatever's good for you, fill it back up with a brand new thermostat. That is the absolute correct way to do it. And if you look inside your hoses while you're at it and you see any buildup inside the hoses,
boom,
go ahead and swap those out. Not all of them are easy to do. Some of them you might actually have to come and get a technician. So we're going to start on questions. I'll do the 3 questions I have here. Suzanne asked about, does that change the mixture of the 50-50? It does not, because it does something else. This is not an antifreeze. It's a surfactant. It just breaks the surface tension of the water or coolant or whatever. Daniel said...
great questions, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Suzanne's got awesome questions. Daniel said, Dominator rocks, tested that out with you in the desert driving 75, right? Boom. And then better results with less coolant? No, we covered that. It's a surfactant. I wouldn't change your mixture. This is just going to make what you have perform better. Fair?
Yeah. And some of the racers, which we're actually going to be doing, we got a engine builder soon to be on the channel.
Ooh.
Very sophisticated.
I'm excited.
gentleman.
Oh, I'm excited.
And he oftentimes gets out to the raceway, right there out of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Big time hot shot, knows everybody. Absolutely everybody. And basically, we're going to be throwing this in this distilled water, and we're going to see, does it foam up? I got a lot of big bomb scares. Eben, water wetter, they go, if you put this in there, it's just going to get shaken up.
Right.
And they go, see the foam bubble? See it? So basically, it makes it thin, and basically they say that the distilled water does nothing. But I have a feeling if you mix this to the directions on here, it's not going to do it. But we'll find out. We're going to see what cools better, straight distilled water or the Dominator coolant boost. We're going to have that test coming up.
I'm going to show you something, because we discussed...
You know what? We'll just put a little link to that video right here in the corner. So when that video comes out, boom, it'll be right there. I thought that was the end of Jeff.
No, this is just the beginning.
I know.
This is the beginning of the Toxic Avenger. All right, so if you notice, he just shook the hell out of it, and this is all the bubbles you have left. If you take a water bottle, specifically soap is a surfactant. Dish soap works wonderful. If you were to put this much water in a couple drops of dish soap and do the same shake, those bubbles aren't going away that fast. Those bubbles aren't going away at all. So I'm pretty sure that it has an anti-foaming agent, but we'll make that on that video. Yeah? Beautiful. So, give me some questions, Eben.
All right, here they come. Jimmy. Chris Inman. What's up, Chris?
Hey!
Will AMSOIL be making a GF6 oil, or are they already exceeding the new GF6 standard? So, that's a great question. I haven't even looked up the GF oil standard yet, but I know like Dexos 2 and a lot of the other low-speed pre-ignition LSPI additives that go inside the motor oil, so there's no pinging and knocking at low speed pre-ignition. AMSOIL exceeded that by about 4 to 6 months. So I'm going to be willing to bet this GF6, I'm going to say that the AMSOIL oil already exceeds that by about 2 to 4 times, but I don't know for sure.
Fair enough.
But we'll get back to you, Chris.
All right.
Thanks, really appreciate it. Hector D. Amanda. Can you talk about heavy-duty coolant, SCA versus OAT coolant, and any pros and cons? I don't even know what those are, Jeff. I'm in outer space.
OAT as organic acid technology.
Oh, I heard that before.
Yeah. And then the other one is what?
SCA.
Okay,
SCA.
That's like silica in there or something like that. You know what? Not 100% sure. A lot of the stuff they put in there, they do it as a lubricant because the cooling system does need lubrication. So, you know, the seal on the inside of the water pump is lubricated by the coolant. If you do a water pump, and I've only seen this a couple of times, but it is a possible thing. If you do a dry start on the water pump, that seal inside could start leaking prematurely. Now we're not talking a gush. We're talking vehicle came back a month later and there was a leak from a brand new water pump out of the weep hole.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, lesson learned. I did that water pump again for free because that's how you do it. Organic acid technology, it is supposed to fight electrolysis. So electrolysis is basically when you get contamination in your cooling system. That contamination uses the fact that your vehicle has different metals. It has aluminum, it has iron, sometimes it has brass, steel, all in your cooling system. These are just the metals that are in contact in your cooling system. Well, plate of nickel, plate of copper, and a potato, and we can make a battery. So you realistically only need two different metals, and an electrolyte. So if your coolant turns acidic, either by contamination, lack of flushing, having minerals in there, you got to understand the pH of drinking water, at least here, is acidic. Our drinking water is acidic.
Yeah.
Distilled water is pH neutral. You want pH neutral. So I know you think, oh, it's only a quart of water. Now, okay, if you're in the deep desert of Death Valley, and all you have is water, and it's what's going to help you live and get out of the desert, please use the water. Don't be like that. But make sure when you get back to dry land, first off, you fix whatever problem left you stranded, because you shouldn't have an issue like that. And then, of course, have it flushed or flush it out yourself, as we had discussed. Suzanne asked about HOTE, which is Chrysler's hybrid organic acid technology.
And I had one with Sean Braun, who's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And he's a
it's
little...
Mopar.
Yeah,
Mopar is the HOTE.
Yeah, he's a little flinchy. And I always like him because he's a little bit of a whiner. And, you know, a whiner is good for two reasons. They can distract other people, and they're also a little bit entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know...
We had fun. When Sean was with us, that was show number 1. We had a great time. Sean's a character.
He is funny as heck. So he was giving me all these big scares. He's like, Eben, he goes, I can't use that in my car. I can't use that stuff.
It's okay. Sean, you do know by now that we can. All right, let's run through some more questions. My goodness, we have a lot.
Oh my God, so we're coming on Don. We got James Chapman. Thanks for coming, checking out the channel. Chris, I asked the AMSOIL question. They said it too new to know on the product. So basically they're just getting their toes wet. They're just dipping in. So that sounds like that's not for another year or something. Then another guy coming on down. AMSOIL say it's not really out yet and they will look at it later next year. Chris, I think the F6 hits the market May 2020. So that sounds right. Something next year, you know, so they're just getting their toes wet in product development. And AMSOIL, they make a big deal about getting out in front of everybody. So, you know, they'll have that specification sticked right on this bottle. The 10W40 premium protection for air-cooled vehicles. You know, they'll have that specification in there. And so all these specifications, they're little subtle adjustments. They're always developing and making things better and more environmentally friendly, and like they're pulling sulfur from diesel fuel and stuff like that. So it's just slow development. Nothing to get scared about.
So we had let's see, we covered that. Do we have any more questions?
I think we're bottomed out.
Oh my goodness.
So if you have questions and you're just getting on the channel, feel free to ask a million questions. Jeff and I'll answer it. If you're just coming new to the channel, Jeff here, he is a master mechanic. So it takes time to get there. Jeff's been out in the battlefields, been shot at inside tanks. He had helicopters almost come down on him when he was servicing them. So Jeff's done it, been there, and he's a real American trooper. and he's here for you. So it means the world to have him on the channel. Thanks, Jeff, for being a part of my channel.
Thank you for having me. And
Jeff.
you know, I love here because we get, wait, don't leave me with the rock. Okay. Because we just get to help people. You know, we get to answer questions, and that's just fun.
And we love messing around and doing it.
Of course.
And you know what? The best part, no one's gotten hurt yet. Thank goodness.
I mean, that's coming.
It is. It is. We're going to have someone we know.
Oh.
He's going to get thrown head first in a garbage dumpster.
I'm down. I'm down.
We know someone, and he's going head first. That's right. Boom, in a garbage dumpster.
Do me a favor.
So keep your eyes peeled for that video coming. It's going to be a little nutty. So yeah, so we're here at Veggie Eat Express. Really nice little restaurant. I'll show you where we're at. Got to always support the local community. Touch it, feel it, taste it here at Veggie Eat Express. Love the colorful display here. And they have all kinds of sophisticated cocktails, wine. They got cheesy cheesecake. They have pretty much everything very healthy.
Yeah.
And this big buffalo here, he no longer eats the meat.
No, I changed. I changed my world.
Yes.
Changed the whole world. And you know what? I'm going to live longer.
Yes, he will live longer. However, Jeff, with the mustache rides are still available upon request. Look at that sophisticated look. That's terrible.
So,
that's terrible.
Well, let's talk about some fun battle stories. Ooh, yeah. Green thing. You got too perfect a teeth for me to leave that alone. Left front tooth. You're gonna just leave it there. I love it. Okay, so interesting cooling system stories. So let's talk smack first.
All right.
All right. So General Motors came out with this wonderful stuff called Dex-Cool.
All right.
Dex-Cool does not play well with others. It doesn't like being topped up with regular hose water.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of horror stories about Dex-Cool. Everybody says to stay away from it.
Yeah, like I've seen it. So here's the thing. The old Dex-Cool, and hopefully they've changed it, but I'll be honest with you, any Chevy I see, I let my customers know, let's get some good stuff in there.
Wow.
I don't like Dex-Cool. I've seen it cause too many failures. So Dex-Cool doesn't play well with others because when it gets in the same tank with green coolant, blue coolant, purple coolant, whatever you want to use, that's not Dex-Cool, it starts to sludge and gel. It turns viscous. It turns into like this jelly. So
can you put distilled water in it?
Nope. I mean, you can. It'll be fine, but nobody does. It's kind of like nobody does it, so it never happens that way. And so you get this fudge. Well, we discussed breaking surface tension gets us better cooling. Well, sludging up the system does the opposite of that and reduces your cooling. So we're starting to get this buildup on top of all right. On top of getting the buildup, it also starts corroding the inside of the system. So now we have a layer of nasty in between our coolant and our metal. So there's no direct contact anymore. Now we're cycling this stuff around. It's building up. Now it's trying to work its way out, and it starts developing leaks because it has gotten acidic. It's gotten nasty. It's contaminated. So now it starts trying to eat its way out of the radiator. On Chevys, it especially loves eating its way out of the intake manifold. I can't tell you how many.
Name all the cars.
Oh my gosh.
Name them all.
Luminas. So we're talking vehicles with the 3.1 and the 3.4 liter.
All right, those are the older ones.
The older ones,
right.
Yeah. Before they came out with the 3.5. The 3.5, they did a wonderful adjustment and fixed that issue. But we're talking a whole slew of cars from like 92 or 93 all the way up into the mid to late 2000s. They use that motor, 3.1, 3.4. Chevy Lumina, Pontiac Grand Am, Pontiac Grand Prix, any of your mid-size sedans with a V6, Buick Rendezvous, good golly, your vans, Chevy Venture, Pontiac Transports, gosh, look it up. They use that 3.4, 3.1 liter engine in everything. I really thought that they did that to keep everybody in business because, yeah, no, for real.
Oh, and speaking of keeping people in business, we're going to have to look up, and Jeff and I decided on this today. We're going to look up when Ford product first came out, when Henry Ford made the first Ford factory line. What is it? The
assembly line.
The assembly line.
You know what he said?
We got to do it, Jeff. What did he say?
First guy said, I'd like to pick the color of my car. You know what Henry Ford said?
What?
You can have the car in any color as long as it's black.
I like it.
True quote.
I like that.
True quote.
So what Jeff and I, what we're going to do is we're going to have to pay tribute to one of the best, highest revenue producing gentlemen in the world, Henry Ford.
Yeah.
And I believe this wholeheartedly. 1/3 of all repair shops in the entire United States and Canada would not exist without Ford product.
Yeah.
All those repairs, and we're going to have to do a tribute day to Ford whenever they started the assembly line, Jeff.
Fair enough.
And we'll have to
and
pay a tribute to them.
Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, any car, I'm going to do a slip up with the words.
Go ahead.
Any car can be a piece of shit. Ooh, that was with a hard S and T.
I like it, Jeff.
All right. Realistically, with the exception of a few cars, you can make most cars last a long time keeping up on your maintenance. But there are some, and I don't like talking smack about manufacturers. I don't want any of my customers thinking that, I think their car's a pile. I could find any car to be a pile. Not necessarily. You could have a pile Chevy, you could have a pile Toyota, you could have a pile Honda. I'll still take care of it for you. Absolutely. Isuzu Rodeo with a lifter tick. I'll take care of that.
Yep.
Boom.
And that's the heart that Jeff has, and that's why we could never ever sell Jeff short for being Jeff. And
I do Jeff better than anybody else.
I've never seen anybody do Jeff
right
better.
Exactly.
There's no other better Jeff that I've ever seen.
This guy who's got 2 thumbs in his Jeff. This guy.
Yep.
So all right, what do we have any? Oh, you know what, let's say the most extreme cooling system stories. Let's talk about pumping water. Boom. Water pumps. Then we also have to touch on hybrids. Don't let me forget about hybrids.
All right,
cool.
Now, if you're just getting to the channel,
and
you're enjoying it, definitely give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Click the subscribe button.
Like, share.
Especially if you're interested in protecting all your vehicles. Doesn't matter whether it's a weed whacker.
Yeah.
It could be a moped.
Yes.
It could be your mom's bike that she gave you before she kicked the bucket over. It doesn't matter. If you want to take care of your equipment, your cars, this is what we do, is we talk and help you. And Jeff, he's the backbone of the channel. He helps out a lot. And well, I don't even know what I do.
We had some good adventures today too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about today's adventures at the end.
I like it.
We started late, so we're going to
end
a little bit
And
late.
also, if you're just getting to the channel now,
oh my gosh,
keep your shoes and socks on. You might want to run after you see this. We're going to be introducing the big whooper snapper.
The whooper snapper.
You can see.
Oh yeah.
It's the key to the lock, and we're going to be showing it and talking about it later.
And we might have.
So don't run away.
We might have one of the wait staff help us with it.
Yes.
That'd be fantastic.
We'll be introducing one of the most best pastimes in history.
The whipper snapper.
The big whooper snapper.
Compliments of Tim Wise, yeah?
Yes.
Compliments of our good friend Tim Wise.
The wonderful genie has gifted me with something so pure, so clean, and I have to share it with you.
Yes.
All
right, so extreme water pumping stories.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's do some extreme. So, one of the first cars that kicked my ever-living butt on overheating was a late 90s, I was 99 or 2000, Volkswagen New Beetle.
Oh man.
So, I'm going to be honest with you, not the biggest fan of the New Beetle, but that's okay, because you know what? It's not for everybody, but it's for some people. If you're a Beetle person, you're dyed through the wool heart Beetle person. But the older ones used to have an issue with spinning the impeller on the water pump. Holy mother of pearl. Let me tell you, It has a plastic impeller. The water pump, an impeller is like a propeller, but it's inside. This thing is run by the timing belt. You can't see it, but it has a metal shaft and a plastic impeller. When the car overheats or whatever happens, it spins. So the pulley's spinning. It's not leaking anything. There's none of the normal signs and symptoms. It's just overheating within, I don't know, about 2 minutes. I changed the thermostat. I flushed the cooling system. I checked the head gasket. I did everything, and this thing kept beating my butt. Well,
Making my head spin just hearing about it.
one of my technician friends came over, and this was still young buck Jeff. We're talking way, way back in 2006. Holy cow.
How old were you at that time, Jeff?
26. Easy math, I was born in 1980. I never have to think.
Wow.
Yeah. 26-year-old mechanic Jeff, first step in the civilian world, working on regular privately owned vehicles. Military, we call them POVs. Working on somebody's POV, happened to be a POS, that's its own issue. So he comes over and he's like, it's a bad water pump. I'm like, well, please explain to me, because I don't understand. Because I had honestly limited experience. Prior to that, I had been working on tracked vehicles, helicopters, Humvees, 5 tons, LMTVs, FMTVs, Hemmets, fuelers, PLSs, you name it, everything. But not a Volkswagen New Beetle. That was a whole different animal. Much smaller parts, much more confined spaces, and diagnosing an overheating problem. Military vehicles have gigantic cooling systems. Gigantic cooling systems. So overheating, not something that happens, and honestly, when it starts to overheat, we really don't care. We just keep going till it goes pop. And then we fix the overheating problem by putting in a new engine. We were irresponsible. Don't give an 18-year-old that much power and that much tools and stuff. Whatever. Semantics. So anyways, spun impeller. Yes.
Of course.
Oh, please, por favor. Wonderful lime-infused water here. Ah, thank you.
Yes, please.
So
Thank you.
I ended up, because of my fear of not knowing what and how, I gave the job up to my friend Tony, who was diagnosing it, and I said, it's only fair that I give this job to you because you diagnosed it. And frankly, I was scared. I was scared as hell to do that job because I didn't know what all it entailed. So, oh geez, yeah, we're getting some angle. Go ahead, pull some angle. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, that's perfect.
A little better?
That's perfect.
Good.
Centers both of us.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. Perfection.
Yes. So,
Jeff and I are such perfectionists.
Yes.
We actually write the script to this show
Right.
about 18 hours earlier.
Yeah.
We do live chats just to get everything perfect.
Conference call.
Conference call.
Yeah.
And we actually bring in one of my agents, and
Yeah.
he said, you know what, Eben, we actually have a new job for you, a new gig for you. He said, we got an opening for you.
Yeah.
He said, Eben, just don't let the door slam on the way out. So that was my last agent thing, and actually my agent's actually suing me. He's
Okay.
actually suing me for 20% of my unemployment checks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty
He's got
unfortunate.
me between the head vice. So.
But wait, you didn't work anywhere.
I know.
Ha! 20% of nothing works out to be nothing. All right, so my buddy fixed the water pump. I learned a hard lesson that water pumps can fail in the weirdest ways. And over my career, I've seen several of the plastic impellers and finally got the guts to change one myself after the first one. I had a Dodge Caravan with a 4-cylinder in it. Another one that kept overheating. Pulled the water pump out. Now, if you've ever seen a water pump, it's like a fan, but it's got these little teeth, and these little teeth are what moves the water. So it's like a fan with little teeth like this, and they're beveled, and it's like a regular box fan. This one, the coolant had gotten so acidic that it ate all the fingers off of the water pump, and it's this flat. It looked like a meat slicer.
Jeez.
It could not move the water. The amount of time I spent diagnosing something that you can't see. A lot of diagnostic, just so you guys know, when we're diagnosing something, it's actually, oh, what do you need? This, most of our diagnostic is inferred. I can't look into the center of your engine. I can't look at your water pump from inside. There's a lot of things that I just have to know based off of sight, sound, smell, engine code, stuff like that. The easy stuff that you see on the outside broken is easy for us too. It's that hard stuff. It's that little water pump that spun the impeller. I would have never known that. I would have never looked for that. But, you know, fortunately in the mechanic field, if you work with good technicians, they'll pass the knowledge on to you. We're a dying field. When I was running my shop at 26, I haven't hired a whole lot of mechanics that have been 26. The ones I did hire at 26, I fired by the time they were 26 and 3 months. Just haven't had good luck.
And put it this way, I'm not even that young, and even if I would work for Jeff, he'd fire me.
Yeah, this guy. But it's a tough field, and if you want to be in it, put your heart into it. You are not going to, and I don't want to discourage anybody, follow your dreams, do what you want to do, but understand, if you have a mechanical nature, if you come home and your arms are dirty and nasty because you took something apart and put it back together and you didn't have to, you're mechanical. If you are afraid to change a knob on a faucet and you want to be a mechanic, it's going to take extra effort. You're going to have, that's like being a 2-foot tall basketball player. You've been shorted somewhere. You don't have all the tools to do it. But if you try hard, you can get the best free throw in the NBA, being 2 feet tall.
I like that, Jeff.
Right.
Now the question is, Jeff, are you willing to show your big mitts to everyone? Show them your nails.
I can do that. All right, so.
Show them your mitts.
Today, these crab claws.
Go slow, Jeff, so they can get a good look at them.
Oh, look at the detail work.
Yes.
Look at the detail.
Yes.
So this is what my hands look like every day.
Up.
And today was a fun one. Oh yeah, we
just
got some
testing the product, making sure it's strong.
It's burst proof.
Yes.
It's funny watching me knock shit over. I like it.
Did I overdo it now?
No, I think we're good.
All right.
I think we're okay. So, where are we at?
It's a great question.
All right, so we talked about the cooling system. We talked about crazy water pump stories.
Yep.
Do we want to talk, you had mentioned, we're talking about hybrids real quick.
Yes.
Hybrids. You need to make sure that the coolant you are adding to a hybrid is hybrid certified. I'm going to have to do my research on the AMSOIL Antifreeze. I don't know if it is good for hybrids, but if you have a hybrid vehicle, it has a separate cooling system with an electric pump that cools the inverter. I am not ballsy enough to try any universal coolant. When somebody asks to get the cooling system service in a hybrid, I first off do the engine coolant and also the hybrid inverter coolant. And if it's a Toyota, I call Toyota, or I can get, I have a company called Whirlpack that brings us some good stuff that is hybrid coolant.
That's interesting.
So,
yeah, from this, what I'm aware of is as long as you change out like the majority, 80-90%, you can put this in any of them. AMSOIL says that if you're mixing it and there's still 10 or 20% left, you want to try to get it out of there as soon as possible. So if you can do it within the next 30,000 miles or sooner. But if you leave like 1 quart in a 10 or 15 quart system, it's not going to wreck it. Just leaving 1 quart. So
what I think it is, I actually think the hybrid coolant is completely different, like way different. I'm going to do my, you know what? We'll follow back up on this one.
Yeah.
We'll find a hybrid. We'll do an inverter cooling flush.
Yep.
Shouldn't be hard to find.
Yeah, we'll do it.
So that was it. That was it for all our cooling system stuff.
Let's get into some questions. And if you're new to the channel, really be happy to answer any of your questions. And if you're kind of saying, you know, what should I do checking out this channel? Why do these guys talk about cars? Well, the real reason is to protect vehicles and saves people a lot of money, a lot of time. And a lot of people won't really expose certain things. It's like giving something up the very first time, or trying to hold on to something.
Industry secrets.
Yeah, trying to hold on to something tighter than it needs to be. You know, and I get it. You don't want to do that. It could pop. But the main thing is this. Basically, I'm not a mechanic. I do nothing but I do it well. But the one thing I do is I do a little bit of entertainment. I do a little magic. And
some juggling.
Some juggling and this and that. And really nothing. But the main thing is that I can kind of expose a little bit of secrets to help you take care of your car. And Jeff here, he's a very special breed. A lot of people don't really exist like him, and that's why we're able to do this show together, is so we can actually expose some of these so-called secrets just for you. And that's why we're actually doing it. So if you have any questions, like something that's an old schmick's tale, or you heard your mom slew about it, or
something your grandpa cussed about.
Yeah, your grandpa used to beat you up about it. You know what? Bring it up on the channel. We'll make fun of it. We'll have loads of fun doing what we do.
Absolutely.
And Jeff's been through a lot, and for me, I don't even know where I've been. Selective memory.
That's right.
But
wherever it was good.
Yes.
Hair's still in place, so
yes.
I mean,
yes. Actually, I just went in debt over my head. I bought a new toupee. I went in debt over my ears. I bought a new toupee. And they say it looks really real. Sometimes I get girls, they want to touch it. They go, "Eben, is that real?" And I ask them to pull it. And you'd be surprised how shy they get. They get, "Oh, I can't do that." And it's like, believe me, you can. But we don't want to get into that right now. It could get too dirty. So we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it just on
PG-13.
Yes, thanks for reeling me back in, Jeff. So,
what's up, buddy?
I don't even know. Look at that. He's like James Bond. He takes phone call by watch.
Dick Tracy, this is my son. Oh, Joshua.
Cute little booger, Joshua.
Okay, love you, buddy. Talk to you soon.
That's good.
Bye.
Jeff's always got time for the family, and that's what makes him so special.
I try.
Yep.
My sister's on there. Hi, Amanda.
So let's tap back in. If you're just getting the channel, definitely give it a thumbs up. Give the channel a thumbs up. That helps out our channel. And we're going to show you the big snapper in a minute. Now,
I'm just warming up.
Jeff's playing with my snapper. But you know what? Let's just see. Bothering me. I'm just getting all kind of.
Wow.
There we go. That's good. There we go. Gotta show Jeff's snapper. We gotta watch him handle it.
Wow.
He's playing.
That's a night. This.
Wow. A good snapper. All right.
You got to get it just right, though.
Yep.
Very
got to
delicate.
get the snapper right. Now he's going to start playing with it. He's going to get all temperamental with it.
Wow.
Good, Jeff. It's good.
Woo.
It's good. Jeff's a natural. He handles the snapper well. This is the Big Whooper Snapper. That's the full name. Beautiful.
That's a nice one. I like it. All right, cool. We'll play with this a little bit more. You said you had some questions for me.
Yeah. So let's see what else we got. Shaboo-boo, shaboo-boo,
What's up, Michael?
shaboo-boo. Boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. What's the best oil for a Golf R32, please? God, that's a great question, Paul. Paul D, thanks for asking the question. So Golf 32, it's going to be one of a couple different oils. You can do the 040 European. You can do the 540 European. You can do the 10W40, 100% synthetic premium protection, high zinc and phosphorus. And what that does is it creates an extra film strength for pistons, cams. But you know what? Go ahead and do your due diligence. Check out the lookup guide. Click it, take a look at it. If you're going to be racing, AMSOIL also makes a racing oil that'll work for that. So there's a lot of oils that'll actually work for that application. Just kind of depends on what you're doing. And feel free to reach out to me anytime. Happy to answer any other questions for you. Coming on over to Jimmy. Eben, I'm not going to change my coolant fluid anytime soon in my vehicles, but I can add some of the coolant blast to make my vehicle run cooler. I live in a hot, humid weather city. Yeah. So just go ahead, just nail it in there.
Throw it on top. You'll be happy as hell. I mean, it's not going to hurt. It's only going to help.
Exactly. And you know what? Get 2 bottles, because after 30,000 miles, this technology here does break down. The molecules break down, and some vapors come off and stuff. So I would say if you're not going to change it, get yourself a gallon of distilled water, get yourself a bottle of this, and just top it off, make sure it's good.
Yeah.
But if you're in a cold area, don't put too much distilled water in. You know, just a little bit. But so coming on over to Hector, why does Dex-Cool have the reputation of being junk? Has it improved since it was first introduced? Do they make Dex-Cool anymore?
Absolutely.
Is it the same damn formula, Jeff?
You know what? I don't have the definitive answer on that, but I can tell you that I have not seen as many cooling system failures in Chevrolet
So they
anymore.
probably changed it.
They had to have.
Yeah, because GM does technical bulletin updates all the time.
So I'm a big ass nerd. I'll be scouting through, looking up information on your car, diagnosing something, and then I'll come across a technical service bulletin, and I'll read the entire thing. And it may or may not pertain to what I'm working on currently, but I store that little nugget in my head, and then I know later when I need to access that nugget. One of the nuggets that I got was a GM TSB, a GM Technical Service Bulletin, about seepage. So there were people condemning valve covers, oil pans, seals, and stuff like that for developing dust around the edge of the seal or the gasket or whatever it happened to be. That is okay. It can permeate a little bit and catch dust. That is not a leak. You keep your eye on it. If you want to clean it off and keep your eye on it, that's just as well. Don't let somebody bully you into a leak if it's just dusty with some fluid stuff.
Beautiful. Ooh. Beautiful.
Oh, Michael, a friend of mine, Michael, a fellow magician, he asked about brake fluid and or flush, brake fluid flush. We did cover brakes in one of our prior videos, but I'll give you the quick rundown. Brake fluid is designed to absorb moisture. If you live in a humid environment, you want to change your brake fluid more frequently than we do in the desert, but don't forget about it out here. You can kind of tell the condition of your fluid strictly by looking into it. If you pull off your cap and it doesn't look a real light honey amber, if it starts getting dark, that means it's starting to get contaminated. And basically what I do is I take a little hose and I suck out the contents of the master cylinder, fill it up with fresh fluid, pump the pedal a few times, suck it out again, fill it up again. Then I start the standard bleeding procedure that your grandpa taught you. You do the first wheel furthest from the master cylinder, and you have whoever is the lowest ranking person inside, and you say, pump it. And you wait for him to pump it a few times. Then you say, hold it. Then you crack the valve, the bleeder valve, let all the fluid out, and you do it on each wheel until the fluid comes out clean. Frequently check your master cylinder. It should take you at least a 6-pack in 45 minutes to accomplish this task.
Huh.
Yeah, that's about what it is. So, God, we got so much stuff coming up on the channel very soon. Did you have any more questions? Because I kind of.
All right. What do you say, Jeff? Though what do you want?
We got some new stuff coming up. You want to talk about some of that emission stuff yet, or what?
Yeah, we have to.
We do. We're just gonna lay a couple of seeds down. We're gonna let that grow.
You're right, Jeff.
So
Jeff is God. He's such a forward thinker, and he's a complete genius. They say thinkers they lose their hair soon. Jeff thinks so much. Actually, no, the reason why Jeff's getting bald is too many U-turns under the sheets. That's why. But at least he's good at what he does, and he implements new tactics all the time. We love it. We got one more good question.
I like him.
Changing transmission fluid in a 2006 Tundra mechanic say lifetime fluid recommended changing or keeping it no issues as of now.
How many miles did you say it had?
He didn't give up mileage.
All right, that's fair.
Could be baiting tactics, Jeff.
Here's the thing. I have seen when they first came out with the world standard fluid, because that's what you're talking about, Toyota WS stands for world standard. Toyota is the nicest manufacturer in the world because they use one fluid for all their transmissions that are automatic. CVT, everything. Toyota is really, this is true kindness from a manufacturer. But I do not believe it is lifetime fluid.
Will you do a trick with us on video quick?
Yeah.
All right, just stand right here
All
in the
right,
middle.
cool.
Move over a little bit, Jeff.
Just so you know,
Come back.
lifetime coolant.
Stand right here.
I'm not biting that apple.
Yep.
All right, so
Stand right here.
we're gonna have you watch this carefully, okay?
All right.
This is called
It's called the big whippersnapper.
a whippersnapper, okay? So you take it, right?
Yep.
And now you gotta, hang on, bear with me.
Yep. Get it just right, Jeff.
Okay. You gotta find it. Okay.
What is it?
There's, you gotta find the spring and get it to, you gotta pull it. You got the rubber band, see, and a cork that's holding the band on the inside. So you gotta fish it and catch it, and then once you catch it, you pull it back and it makes a snap sound. Whooper, snap. Nothing? Let me see.
Jeff's got big hands.
Wait, oh, ha, clocking. We talked about clocking today.
No, I
Wait,
can't.
okay. This is up, this side, coming in.
No.
Beautiful. Give it a shot. Check your hook first. Okay. No? There's a separate way, there's a different way we can do it.
Okay.
You want to try the other way? Okay, so the other way we go like this, okay? So we take it, right? And we're going to, shoot. It's hard to get this
Jeff.
way.
You can get it.
Hang on.
Trust your intuition.
There we
Jeff.
go, okay. Ready?
Am I supposed to hold on to this?
Oh, you can if you'd like.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah. So catch the hook. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like you're gonna shoot me with that shit. Not even lying. I feel like I'm gonna get hit.
Yeah, we're just playing around.
No.
Is this
It's
possible?
it's just a fun
Well,
trick.
I mean, you do know us by now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She knows us.
Do we fuck with people all the time?
Think
Things
so.
like that?
Yeah.
So,
Thanks.
You're welcome.
yeah. It's a delicate touch. That's all I can say.
Beautiful
It's a
hands, Jeff.
delicate touch. That was fun. You got it? You find it? It's there it is. Boom. So I'm gonna call it. We're playing with toys now. We've got some big stuff coming up. Shoot. Is this Saturday?
This Saturday, that's right.
Saturday.
This is it. We have the giveaway coming up. So that's
Yay.
Eben's end of month giveaway. And what I do is I say, everyone that's helped me, all my preferred customers that get the products at 25% off. Got my magazine here. Where's my box?
Oh yes.
Where's my box?
No idea.
There it is. There it is.
I
got
ate it.
Oh, where's the mag? Ah, there it is. It's right in front of me. I wouldn't even have seen if I looked for it. Getting so excited about talking about the giveaway. I'm more excited than everybody that wins. So we're giving a $100 gift card away to Express Lube and Auto Repair right here. Boom,
Boom, boom.
and boom. And what that is that gets any type of products you want. Doesn't matter what you want. We'll ship it out to you if you're way out there in the middle of nowhere. And we also have the preferred customer membership. Got lots of people that get the products at wholesale, 25% off. They also get the free shipping. And this gives you lots of information on how to protect your vehicles exponentially better, about 2 to 4 times better than running OEM fluid. And that's kind of what this is all about. And so we do all that. So we got to give back. And one of my old favorite sayings, loving and giving makes life worth living.
I like that. That's
And,
good. That's
yep.
solid.
And the more you give, the better you live.
Absolutely.
So if you can just pass that extra little nugget of positivity, help someone out, make a difference by doing a little something extra.
I mean, you look at it, the pay it forward. If you do something nice for somebody, hope in your heart that you did something nice and that they will do something for somebody else.
Yep.
And if everybody can just do one thing for one person, we could infect the world with niceness. That'd be the best. I wish we could get like a pandemic or something where the entire world is turning nice. Oh my God.
But you know what though? You can never be too nice.
That's right.
Sometimes, like every good movie,
That's right.
there's always a good bad guy. So still, we got to have a good bad guy, Jeff.
You do.
We have to.
We do.
Everyone loves the bad guy in some movies, right?
I just got done reading a book, and the bad guy was my favorite guy. Like, yeah, he was my favorite. Matter of fact, if I recall correctly, he was one of the few people that lived until the end of the book. It was even better.
Actually, there's an old musician.
Ooh.
And his name was Di Vernon.
Oh, yes.
And
the professor?
Yeah, the professor. He just wouldn't die. And the other thing is, he used to say, sin every day is only the good die young. And sure enough, the clappity old, you know what? I think he lived to what, 89, 98?
Yeah.
No, he lived to 98, I think. Yep.
Wow.
So
coming up,
yes,
we have our giveaway.
That's this Saturday. I got completely off track. This Saturday, 11 a.m., live on the channel, just like this video.
We're going to stand right in front of our new AMSOIL flag that we put up.
Yes.
Check the video. We got the unboxing of an AMSOIL flag.
Yes, that's up. It's erect. It's solid as a rock.
Yeah.
But it's flexible, so it won't break on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to be doing. And if you if you live in Vegas and you want to come, 11 o'clock, Express Lube and Auto Repair, 5400 East Trop. Anybody who comes, we'll let you pick a name out of the hat. How about that?
That sounds beautiful.
Awesome. So we get audience participation.
And also, we got the new PI Performance Improver bottles.
Yes.
That's the red bottle.
We got the red bottles.
Yep. So we can play with those and juggle them.
Pretty exciting.
And
you want to talk about emissions?
We'll tap into it. Go for it, Jeff. Let us know what happened today.
So we had a gentleman approach us, and he wants us to do a review of a, there we go, Michael Colburn.
Yes, this is the gentleman.
He wants us to do a review of his, first off, he has a machine that scopes every bit of the engine and tells you how well the engine's running.
Yes.
He also has a proprietary product, which, I'll be honest with you, I'm a skeptic.
I like that, Jeff.
Eben's the guy who puts his heart into it. I'm the guy that holds out. Not going to get it on the first date with me.
All right.
It's not happening that way.
All right.
So we put some in Eben's car. We took a drive. Eben felt some. I didn't really feel anything, but Eben drives that vehicle every day, and I do not.
Yep, and
so his baseline's different.
I felt about 7 to 11 wheel horsepower on a Doggy Scraps 5.4 liter 2004 Ford Expedition.
Every day.
So
day.
Ford product. God, Ford product's incredible, Jeff.
Yeah. So we're going to be discussing this. We're going to check out his equipment. He had mentioned something about letting us, either giving us or letting us use this equipment, one of the two.
Yep.
Either way, if we get it, we are going to start using this equipment on all sorts of stuff. I'm stoked. And if that doesn't pan out, we had talked about an alternative, because we're still our goal here is for better emissions, lower emissions. We're here to save the environment too, as crazy
and
as
the
it looks.
fish, because for every bit of this that gets emitted in the atmosphere, we all breathe the same air. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
They think they're in their own little bubble.
That's right.
Believe me, anything can
Don't breathe my air.
Anything can all of a sudden just whoop, go right through your bubble.
Done. So I also have a very, very large machine. It's called a smog machine, but it doubles as a 4-gas analyzer. So if the other little thingamabobber doesn't quite work out, and it actually does a whole different job, completely different than my gas analyzer, we're going to start doing before and afters. We'll do before the flush and PI, and we'll get the tailpipe readings, and I'm going to get 2 readings for any of you technical little monkeys out there. I am going to get a reading after the catalytic converter, because that's where the easiest place is. But we all know, if you're a technical junkie like me, catalytic converter does break down all the nasty, so that what you're getting at the tailpipe is a combination of how the engine is running and how the cat is working.
Yep. And also, if you're watching now and you enjoyed this video, we're going to wrap it up here because my phone battery's going down.
Let's do this.
If you love this, go ahead and share the channel right now. Friend both Jeff and I on Facebook. I'm Eben Rockmaker.
Jeff Lockett.
My cell phone number is 702-472-3614.
We got the bat line, text only. Call me at, or text me at 702-907-9227, or you can call the shop. Feel free, please call, stop by, whatever. 702-433-5823. And we'll put phone numbers and stuff in the description below. And yeah, so we, another week in the books. What week was this?
This is show number 19.
So next week is 20.
Number 20.
Wow.
We got to do something special. We
Yeah.
got to get someone else from the community to come and enjoy and learn. And
that's 2 decades. I've talked to a couple of our Magish friends.
yes,
And I've got a couple of Magish friends that would be interested in coming doing the show. I think that'd be fun to
they're
include.
such interesting people,
Yeah.
and they always have something to share. And that's what we're here for, is to share with you.
Share magic and knowledge.
It means so much to share the entertainment. It's got nothing to do with labeling anything. It's just about having fun.
And a whooper stick.
Yep, that's right. I love your
All right.
handling, Jeff.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right, that's a wrap, Jeff.
Well, that's a wrap. Awesome.
Look at that, Jeff. Boom.
Do
Cheers.
Michael Ryan Little's asking Eben to do your coin vanish. Why don't we do a simultaneous coin vanish?
Let's do it.
All right, you
Let's
ready?
do it.
All up here. We're going to do it nice and close.
I'm just going
This
to do
is-
mine right here.
This is close-up magic.
All right.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
I don't know. Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
I just got rid of mine.
That's it. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you
guys.
back next week. Same time, same place here on Synthetic Oil Protection, 6:15 p.m. Las Vegas time. We're here for you.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks,
Cheers
guys.
to protection, protection, protection.
Now here's the awkward moment where we
Yes.
come and we're still here, but we're not. We need a button. We need a button for this awkward moment where I come right here and I'm like, hey guys,